Yo guys, today I'm doing like a little bit of a project. So basically I want to take this stick with me to New Zealand, and the reason why is because bringing wood and like just a basic stupid stick overseas and trying to get it through customs, like bringing organic material to another country, is actually really impossible. Not impossible, but like really hard and stuff. So having like, it'd be really cool to have like a piece of English forest. And it's my favourite stick, obviously, because it looks like a gun and it splits wood really well. It's good for bashing. Yeah, like they don't like whatever wood bugs coming into the country or whatever. So in order to get it through customs, I need to make it look like a handcrafted piece or whatever. So I've got to like shave off all the bark on the outside and then fill in the crack with epoxy resin. And we're going to be doing that today, and just like hanging out. Ted's here. I'll also have to like pay them 50 quid or something so they can like spray it or whatever, you know, to heat treat it or whatever to get bugs out. There's no bugs in it. It's completely dry and safe, but you know, they're just weird like that. I'm modifying a stick to smuggle it into another country effectively. That's going to be the title of this video. And I'm also just going to like waffle about crap because I like doing that. I've got the firebox here so we can make some tea. I think I've got everything actually. I've even got my pot of destiny. Look at that, it's going pretty well so far. Ted's having a nice time. Also, look what I did, guys. I completely burnt the back of this, my case, because I was using it as a wind guard against the firebox and it ended up just like melting and catching fire. I thought this was like fireproof, like, you know, what fire blankets are made out of. Turns out it's just this plastic, I don't know what they call plastic fabric, polystyrene, whatever they call it. So it's not actually like a fireproof bag. And for Firebox, that's pretty dreadful. So that's one main complaint I have. Whoever's working at Firebox, make a cover that's actually fireproof, because you know it's a bit silly that it's plastic and it sets on fire. You know, if you put this over a fire, it will just set on fire. Just stupid. Yeah, it's just plastic, so it's just melted like plastic. It's pretty annoying. When I do another order from Firebox, I'm going to get the leather one they do, so it's no big deal. It still functions, it's fine. I'm just annoyed that it's like plastic, and also like I put a stick there and that just melted it. Anyway, Firebox is still holding up. That's ridiculous. Yeah, another thing, I should have gone with the stainless steel, because the titanium, like even these titanium sticks, they're so soft. Maybe that's because they're aged. They've been through so many heat cycles, but they're super soft and bendable. Bit annoying. Oh well. I've been doing a lot of thinking about how I'm going to spend the rest of my life. Like I've got to stick it out for, if I'm going to die at 84, 85, that's 65 years I've got to stick it out for and exist. Like I've been thinking what I'm going to want to do, and I'm seeing all the problems with, or just how flawed the current system is. So something I'm definitely going to do is I'm definitely going to spend at least 10 years of my life doing absolutely nothing. I posted a video explaining what is the most valuable thing on Earth, and I'm not going to try and explain it because it takes a while, but it's in that video. Maybe it will go over the top of your head, but whatever. You know, I want to like, don't even know where to start. It's just so much. I don't even know where to start, guys. It's like, where do I even begin? Like, so much I could talk about. Yeah. The main problem I have with everything is people's idea of what they want, what is valuable, what is inherently worth it. And like, how do I say this? Everyone lives from the mindset of everyone else needs a house, loads of savings, job that's in a managerial position, that's easy, and because everyone else needs that, I need that. It's like, just because everyone else wants the red car, why does that mean you want it? Like, I'm gonna bring you guys a bit closer. Look at that, yeah. Yeah, everyone has this idea that comfort is the ultimate goal. Like, to me, that is just rot. Comfort is just rot. You're just in a nice house, on your comfy sofa watching TV or on your computer or whatever, and you're rotting. Like every part of you is just rotting. You know, your soul is just rotting. You know, your entire existence is just rot. Monotonous repeat for comfort, the source of rot. You know, the homeless man that is having a graft and is just like going through so much suffering, it's just so much more visceral. Like imagine the 50 years of life of a homeless man in a third world country in Africa compared to 50 years of life from some guy that's got a job and the house and money and everything, who's comfortable and's got it all. Who you think's like lived way more in the same amount of time? I want to have the stories, be homeless out in the cold rain with no food, no money, maybe I'm going to shoot up on heroin or something to have any source of motivation to do anything, I want to be on the streets, maybe go through another, drug be addicted to drugs or something and get off of that, or be starving for months, have nowhere to live, be cold, be suffering in the weather. That's visceral, that's real living. Instead of rotting and decaying in some building, in some accommodation you're paying for with a job so you can work the job and so you can have extra money to jerk off your ego, chasing and fulfilling desires, driven and fueled by lust and desire, or whatever. Oh, fucking hell. What's so great about being comfortable? You're just rotting. I hate being comfortable. It's just a source of rot. That's why I'm moving to the most remote countries in the world to go be fucking homeless in some shit van out in the middle of fucking nowhere, to be live a horrible. I'm gonna be broke for the rest of my life. I'm going to have it really hard. I'm always going to be having to figure out how to get food, the most, 3 basic things. Come on, guy, sell it to me. No one's been able to sell me the dream that everyone's living. Come on, who in the comments can sell me being comfortable, having it all? There's no growth. And if there's no growth, there's entropy, and if there's entropy, you're rotting. Oh, Ted. I should get my mate Brad, because he's a switched off, he's been working the entire summer holidays at his job. He's just in the system, He's fully what is it called? Sucked in. But no, I don't want to criticize him or shame on him or whatever. There's nothing because I want to say there's nothing wrong with it, because you have to go through the multiple lifetimes of the same motions of chasing desire, lust and money, working a job for accommodation so you can work the job because that's what everyone else does. What else are you going to do? Rotting in comfort, because you have to burn that karma. There's no other way around it. You can't cheat spiritual evolution. There's a reason why at 19 I have zero desire for alcohol, partying, having lots of being around people, having lots of friends, and wanting to be successful and have all the jobs and have all the things that everyone else wants, because it's not like I've just magically become some fucking enlightened that's I've just figured it out sooner than anyone else. I must have gone through several lifetimes of working a pointless job for my entire life to reincarnate into this lifetime and be and already intuitive and intrinsically have this knowledge and not have this desire, do the same thing as everyone else. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to do I'm going to get Brad in. He's been in the steak video or whatever. Me and Brad, we're very similar in our what we agree with, whatever. We vibe on the same level, but we're opposite in the same way. He wants to have the job, money. He wants to do the same societal thing that everyone else is doing for his entire life, and I want to do the complete opposite. He wants to be comfortable. He wants to be indulge in comfort, and I don't want to say, "Oh, you want to be in comfort? You're just a rotting piece of scum." That's me personally, how I see comfort. But just because that's how I see that's just because I don't like the color red doesn't mean the colour red should be banished off the entire planet. It should be completely destroyed. No one else should like the colour red, just because I personally don't like comfort I think it's rotting doesn't mean it should be everyone else is just this piece of shit. You know, I'm not saying that. That's just me personally. You know, I don't like the colour red. I don't like comfort. I personally, when I'm in comfort and rotting, I see that as rotting. I don't mean it's inherently, universally as is, you know. But it'd be really cool to have like a one-on-one debate or like conversation, like a podcast sort of thing with Brad. I should get him in. Brad, if you're watching this video, hit me up. And like, I need to bounce off someone. I need to understand, like I understand it, like, you know, you gotta burn through it, burn through the karma, bash your head against the wall to understand it. You know, I had to do that and be like, so like, what's so great about working that job for the whole summer holidays? What did you get out of it? Because I worked a job for 2 months at a factory, and my life, my situation before I was working at the factory and after had no change. My life didn't change, my situation didn't change with or without the £1,500 in a month. 1,500, the income, the extra income, £1,500 a month coming in or not coming in didn't change my situation at all. So me working like nearly every single day for that factory, for that money, was pointless because I didn't see any benefit or change. You know, there was no benefit or change. Oh, look, I have extra money. I can jerk it off on fucking desire and lust. You know, I can buy that shit. You know, I can save up for that shit. Oh, I have savings, I'm comfortable. Yeah, I'm comfortable. Rotting piece of shit. Yeah, I need to debate. I need to have my ideas challenged by someone. You know, no one, you know, I ask people in the comments to challenge it. You know, people agree with it, and you know, I really appreciate that, but I need people that disagree with it. So my ideas and opinions and thoughts get challenged and, you know, actually develop and grow instead of this, like, I feel like I'm running in circles. Like, I hope the camera's straight, guys. It's probably wonky as hell. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool because it would also convey my message. I feel like, yeah, just make a way better video having a conversation in that with someone there in real life instead of me just saying shit and it's not like a conversation, it's not getting challenged. It's not like I'm saying something like comfort is just rotting, but there's nothing more of that. There's no one coming back at me saying, I wouldn't even know how to challenge that myself. You know, I can't even come up with a counter argument for that. So that's why I need to talk to someone. Anyway, let's carve this thingy-mabob, guys, while the tea cools down. Yeah, epoxy Gorilla Glue. Let's go. We're gonna have fun, guys. We're gonna have fun. So the first thing I'm gonna do, this split end here, I just don't like. It's like, even though it's nice, handle like that, like, I'm gonna cut it there just because it's a weak point and I wanna refine it a bit. It's very dry and hollow now, so. And hopefully by putting epoxy and stuff in here, it will stop it cracking even more and it'll seal it up and make it stronger. So I'm just gonna look at that. And I can put epoxy all on that. I'll cut off this bit. Yeah, it'd be cool to have like a salesman or something sell me society. Like someone needs to sell me it. You know, I haven't been sold. You know, it's all bullshit that's been sold to me. All like, oh my days, choice. You get choice with money. You don't get choice. You get the opportunity to jerk your ego off on buying, consuming, and fulfilling desires fueled by lust. Yeah, maybe people just don't get me or something. Or like, I'm just such a speaker. You know, I'm not conveying my ideas right. I don't know. The one thing I want above all else is peace in its every form. Now let me tell you what doesn't give me peace. So maybe explaining this, and I think I've explained it before, but for new people, or like what I'm trying to convey, will help me convey my message, or like help me convey what I'm trying to say here, or like my viewpoint, or what my stance, or you know why I think the things I do, or you know why I don't want all this. Maybe it'll help convey it better if I like explain it like this. So the one thing I want above all else is peace in its every form. So let's first start off with what doesn't give me peace. Being around lots of people, having a job, having money, dealing with a job, dealing with money, being like in my bedroom, being in a house, being in a building, being in like a society where it's like there's space. In a building there's space. Like in my bedroom there's space. there's always this feeling, there's always like building a box creates feeling and a devoid and lack of. In nature, there's nothing like if once I'm fed, once I have food and I have shelter, there's nothing here in this space that I want. There's nothing here that like my mind is going, oh, you should have that, you should get this. There's no desire for anything here, because it's just, it's you know, it's the forest, nature. It's already full. It's already populated. It's already abundant. It's already whole. In a building, in your room, it's all. You could always have a better lamp. You could always have I could have like a better coffee machine. I could have better lights so it's nicer. You know, I could have, you know, a nicer bed. You know, I could have a proper like this better stuff. It creates this space of lack of. There's always a desire for that, you know. Out in nature, it's impossible. Now I know that was a side tangent. It probably just made no sense. But being comfortable doesn't give me peace. It gives me this infinite. It gives me this feeling of entropy and rot. Yeah, having lots of friends, people around me, people cheering my name, people listening to me, doesn't give me peace. Having lots of stuff, buying lots of stuff doesn't give me peace. You can say all these things that I'm mentioning, you know, gives me satisfaction and dopamine and happiness. It doesn't give me peace. And above all else, I want peace in its every form. What else? Constantly doing stuff. Being busy doesn't give me peace. Constantly being occupied. Even fixing things for people, helping people doesn't give me peace. You know, just sitting here, doing this, doing nothing, like out in the forest. That is the only thing that has given me peace in every form. Like, yeah. I remember in primary school, in year 1, when I first started primary school, right guys, I had no desire to play with other kids. And that wasn't because, you know, oh, he's autistic, he's a bit special, he has trouble communicating. Like, I didn't feel alone, I didn't feel any desire to be with people. Like, I was completely happy playing by myself, being by myself. And the teachers and adults saw that and were like, and it's like, this kid isn't playing with the other kids because he has trouble communicating and making friends, so we need to help him with that. And we need to put him with friends and make him play with people. And they made me go up to people and ask to play with them, even though I didn't want to. And I remember in year 1, like, yeah, I don't want to like criticize or like shit on my like learning support person I had back then, because like, really isn't like their fault, you know, and not deserving of that. You know, that isn't a fair judgment, you know, to give them. But it's just, that's how the outcome, that's how it played out. So they ended up developing this need in me to want to be around other people. God, it's so fucking hard to explain this. Them, basically, I'm going to try and really simplify it because I have a really hard time trying to convey this. I had no desire at all to play with other people or be with other people. I wasn't upset, or, you know, it wasn't like, oh, you know, I just can't figure out, can't figure out how to be with other people. You know, I can't figure out how to be with other kids. You know, I'm really sad. Like, there was none of that. I was completely happy, and I had no care that what other people were doing or that I was by myself. But, you know, they took that innocence and they were like, you have this problem where you're not playing with other kids because there's something wrong with you and you can't communicate and socialize with people. You are not playing with the other kids, Kakota. They weren't saying this directly, it was what they're inferring with their actions and the way they were supporting me or whatever, But they created a sense of lack and desire to be with others because all the other kids wanted to play with each other and I wasn't. And if everyone else needs that, if everyone else needs to be around other people, then I need it. And they saw the fact that I didn't want to be with other kids and all the other kids did want to be with other kids as a problem, a disease, you know. And so my archetype, the architecture of my personality and my soul is completely content just fucking around by myself. And because they encroached on that or something, I don't want to say that, but like they imprinted this lack of in my mind that, you know, you do want to be with other people, you're lonely by yourself, you know, in order to be happy you need to be playing with other people. That created this like loneliness in me from nowhere, all because of that. Yeah, I can't believe they're doing that. In year one, they were like, yeah, they were like always making me every playtime, forcing me and making me go and play and talk to other kids. And I really didn't want to, and I saw no reason to, and it was like a chore, like having to go around to your neighbour's house for a survey for a school project, and it's like that. You know, I don't want to do it. I don't find it fun. Yeah, it was just, I was completely content and happy and self-sufficient on my own. And they took that from me. I don't know saying that, but like they did destroy that and take that from me, and in turn create this sense of lack of and loneliness which wasn't there before. If everyone else needs that, you need that. And if you don't want that, or if you feel like you don't want it and don't want to have it, then there's something wrong with you. And there's a problem there, there's a block there, it needs to be fixed, and it's a disability, disease, or issue, whatever. You don't want to be you don't want to be socialising with other kids, Kakota. You don't have any desire for it. You don't want to go up to people. There's something wrong with you. There's a disability you have, and that needs to be fixed, and you need help with it, and you do want to be socialising with the kids, but you're not, because there's this disability that's blocking you and handicapping you from doing so. It was just such the opposite. Yeah. And I'm slowly healing that. Oh, sorry, Ted. I'm slowly healing that and working back from that and rekindling and redeveloping that contentment and that wholeness I once had by myself, because I naturally and like authentically don't want to be around other people. No, that's not right. That's not wrong. That's not right. I naturally, so as a soul, I don't feel lonely, or don't feel any need to, or don't care or want to involve myself in groups of people, because I'm completely content and happy and busy doing my own thing by myself. I like if I'm involved in it, you know, oh, it's nice or whatever, but you know, I don't feel any need or desire to go out of my way to, you know, do those things. And yeah, I need to make a scripted video or whatever, because I write way better than I talk, so it's not coming off my head as well. Probably sound like I'm chatting out of shit. Like, oh, sorry, Ted. I might even varnish and oil this so it looks even more premium. This, what are they called? Batoning stick that I've got here. Yeah. I haven't got a lot of film left, and yeah, God. I'm gonna move you closer even more so it's even more intimate, guys. Yeah, I need to make a scripted video or like have notes so I can better explain this, but a lot of my problems have come from people trying to help me, you know. It's not like they're consciously, hehe, sense of lack of and loneliness in this boy here. Like, yeah, I'm consciously taking innocence of children more like they're evil. You know, it's just, you know, they're not consciously, they're just unknowingly doing this, coming from a place of helping, like they think they're helping me, and just like they just don't know, innit? They just, for lack of a better word, they just don't know. They just didn't know. They were raised like that, so they're raising the other generation like that. And there's also a fundamental principle of, I had to grow up like this. No, I had to go through this. I had to learn this. I had to do this. So you have to do this, you know? Yeah. Oh man. I feel that's so true. The fact that if I and everyone else wants this, needs this, or desires for this, you want that, you want this, and you desire for that. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. There's a handicap somewhere there. There's a lack of understanding or not knowing there. There's something wrong there that needs to be fixed. You're wrong, I'm right, I win, you lose. Haha. I'm justifying my whatever beliefs or whatever, blah, 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 you know? And it's just the source of so much suffering. I'm right, you're wrong, haha, I win, you know? I could just apply that to so many people, yeah. There's some people coming to mind, well, there's one specific person coming to mind, but I don't want to dox them. No, I don't want to like name them or like, not even name them, but like call them out. How am I gonna see it posing like that? So interesting how I do that. Yeah, I can't believe that. When I was 5, I was completely happy and content playing and being by myself and doing everything by myself. and I wasn't lonely at all. I didn't want to be with other kids at all. I wasn't upset at all, or like, oh, you know, I want to be playing with other people. You know, I want to have friends, and I just can't socialize, and my autism is stopping me from doing that. No, other people, the adults and other people, put frames of that upon me, and were like, I need friends and people to be around me. Everyone else needs friends and people to be around them, so you need to be, and you don't want that, so that means there's something wrong with you. And you know, again, it's if I want that and everyone else wants that, you want that, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you. And so that part of me was destroyed. And so as I grew up, because the archetype of my authentic being is to be completely happy by myself, and this indoctrination or programming from adults that no, that's a problem, you want to be with other people, you have struggle communicating with them, and that's a problem, and you do want to be around people, and if you're not around people, you're lonely, and there's a lack of, and they injected and put this lack of, they pushed it onto me, whatever, unconsciously and unknowingly, and from a place of helping and, you know, purity, but even though it was like wrong, and they weren't intentionally doing it. And because I genuinely, as a person, as an archetype, I'm happy by myself, but because they put this feeling of lack of and loneliness on me from a young age, you know, that, oh no, you do want to be with other people, you know, you need this because everyone else needs it. There was this, like that, you know, it's my true self was wanting, my true self is wanting me down here, and they imposed, I don't know how to explain it or put the words, but they like imprinted this whatever that I'm talking about, the lack of, you know, this loneliness effectively onto me, that it was dragging me. And then so there's this sense of loneliness I ended up having to bear with, or had to go through for like my whole high school years, you know, year 6 and year 5 especially, because from deep down and from an authentic higher self, I wanted and I was completely content being by myself, but because they put this lack of and loneliness desire from themselves onto me, I felt and I genuinely believed that, oh, I do want to be with other people. And so there was this, you know, inauthentic pool or whatever, like, it's kind of like if you genuinely want to be just out in nature and be peaceful and meditate, but you're indoctrinated with the idea that you want to have a Lamborghini, and so you're fighting to have all the money in the world and get all the cars and get the Lamborghini, and you get the Lamborghini and you're just miserable because your true self wanted to just be meditating in the forest, but you got this implanted idea that you want the Lamborghini, and that's why you're miserable, and that's that, you know, that resistance, that's that inauthenticity. Yeah, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. That's the best I can explain it, pretty much. And I'm sure I've gone completely off topic and off on a side tangent, and I've completely lost what I was originally saying. I guess it still kind of all ties in, but yeah, that's something that really upsets me, and something that I realised recently, that I was never lonely. The feeling of loneliness wasn't present in me at all or ever until the adults and carers of me implanted that on me from their own sense of lack of. And so I lived the rest of that portion of my life wanting, desiring and being lonely, and be like, oh, I'm so upset, I'm just lonely, oh, I'm so lonely. When really, yeah, I can't explain it any better than how I've explained it. Yeah, it's really hard to talk about things like this, like saying and explaining that, like, I see comfort as rotting, and, like, you know, when I was a child, like, they imprinted loneliness on me when I was completely content, and like talk about things without unintentionally and accidentally, or like in the process, shitting on everyone that does find comfort, their highest good or pleasure in life, and without, my brain is a fuzzle, but you know, I'm not trying to talk negatively about people, or like say the people that did this are horrible and they're shit, and like F them, you know, because I don't mean that, you know. Yeah, I vividly remember that being a kid, 5 years old, playing in the playground, and I was completely happy doing my own thing. There wasn't an ounce of loneliness or desire or feeling left out from the other kids or anything when I was by myself. And I remember when they were making me go up to other random kids and be like, oh, can I be your friend? Oh, can I join in your game? And thinking, why the hell am I having to do this? There's no point to this because I was completely happy with what I was doing by myself. Why do I have to play with them just because the adults are telling me to? Just because the adults want me to? God, if only they knew I didn't have an ounce of loneliness when I was at that stage, and that I wasn't feeling left out at all. And really it's because if they were in my shoes, they would be feeling left out and lonely. So they assumed that I was feeling that, and they were like, you have this socializing problem, you're handicapped, there's something wrong with you because you don't comply to the standards, you don't want what everyone else wants, there's something wrong with you. Oh, Ted's trying to go to bed. Ted's all cold, strapped into a ball. Yeah, man, they didn't even ask me. Oh no, they did. And they would say, okay, do you want to play with other kids? Or do you want to, are you feeling left out? Do you want to? And I'd say, no, I don't want to. No, I'm fine. And then they would start saying, oh, go over there and ask them if you can play with them. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to. And I'd keep saying when they were trying to get me to play with other kids, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. No. And it was this struggle or whatever. And they saw that resistance as this handicap problem of socializing. You know, they couldn't accept that I was happy on my own. They couldn't comprehend that being by yourself, you can be happy and not lonely by yourself. They couldn't comprehend that reality, that state of being. And so they were like, no, you're wrong. Like it's almost like it's almost like I said, no, I don't want to play with other kids. And they were like, no, you do want to play with the other kids. Fucking do as I say and fucking socialise. You know, I'm joking here, but you know, I'm just trying to exaggerate. And I don't know. I just think it's funny. And like, because that was the source of my loneliness, what I've just explained there. And I wonder if that is the source of loneliness for everyone. And don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy and like being completely by myself 24/7. You know, I do really appreciate being around other people, but it's not like when I'm by myself, I'm lonely, you know? Yeah, I wonder what sort of person I would have become, or how I would have grown up, or how my life would have looked if they just left me alone and just let the process of me playing by myself and not playing with other kids just play out and see how that naturally would have unfolded. Like, I reckon I would have eventually started or naturally involving myself with the other kids, and the feeling of loneliness would have, that problem, you know, would have never developed. I don't know. Oh, Ted, look at this, guys. So that's what's coming up, guys. I'm gonna finish this later because I've got like an appointment to get to. I'm really hungry. I've got like this stupid dentist appointment I've got to get to, and I want to show this whole process of modifying this stick to smuggle it through customs process, you know. Also, another thing, I heard this whatever saying from another video, and there's this guy that said the opposite of depression is expression. And I'm not saying like expressing yourself through creativity and doing things and like outwardly, you know, making stuff, expressing stuff, writing stuff, you know, doing stuff, you know, expressing yourself will completely cure that. But like, if you think about it, like, depression is the opposite of expression. Like, you're just inward and you're just self, you know, you're just doing nothing. You know, you're just like, in a way, slowly dying and rotting, and like, it's like entropy at the core of it. And so through expression, I feel like that does solve it in a lot of ways, depression. I don't know, just a thought. Anyway, that's gonna be a video coming up. Brad, or I might have to get someone else because he's just working his whole life away for nothing. Yeah, I want to do a video with someone that's like, yeah, pro society, pro working your whole life, you know, versus me. It's like, I want to be fucking homeless, starving and suffering my entire life. Not suffering my entire life, that's wrong, but you know, I want the visceral experience of discomfort and you know, not having money, not having a house, not having food, not having that, not having this, not having that, you know, not having comfort, and that two opposing sides, but at the same time, you know, we were both vibing, agree and resonate on a lot of levels, just like our lives are completely opposite. So I reckon that'd be a really cool video. Maybe I'd have to find someone else, you know. I think that'd be a pretty cool video. So Bradley Sparkle Pants, as the ops call him. Spell my line, yeah? Spell. Allow it. Up. No, I'm joking. And yeah, I'll see you in another video. I'm gonna start posting more. The way I'm treating my posting schedule is like, I post a YouTube video when I genuinely want to post a video, like, I want to make a video or whatever, not, oh, I should be posting 3 times a week because everyone else says everyone else does, and everyone else says you should, and those are the rules, and you should follow and comply to that, you know? If you're not posting 3 times a week, you will fail, and you know, you're not doing it right, and you're not, that's not how you're supposed to do it properly. You're not gonna be successful. And it's like, yeah, I wanna be successful, guys, you know? You like that Kokota's ego? You like that? Loads of people are watching you. Oh yeah, you have lots of stuff. You good boy. Yeah, come on, f off. So a lot of negative energy in me, guys, if you can, if that's coming across. Yeah, I'm just getting pissed off. That's probably why I have so much negative energy. I'm getting really pissed off of everyone imposing the shoulds and shouldn't of how I should be doing things. Just pissing me off, you know? Anyway, that's gonna be the end of the video. I wanna end it here. You know, I just feel like I've finished, you know? You know, this video's come to an end. Yeah, we're done here, right? I've got 5% battery. This video's probably gonna be so long because I waffled so much. Oh no, guys, the video's not 10 minutes. That's not following the rules. You're not doing it properly. Follow the meta, bro. You know? if you don't do it right, if you don't do it 10 minutes, 3 days a week videos, if you don't have good thumbnails, you won't be successful. And if you won't be successful, you won't be happy. And you want to be successful because everyone else wants to be successful. And if everyone else wants to be successful, you want to be successful. You don't want to be, there's something wrong with you, mate. You're autistic. There you go. You're handicapped. We need to fix that. God forbid people let me and themselves just be. God forbid that happens because the sky would fall, wouldn't it? If everyone were to just exist and just simply be, oh God, that'd just be the worst. That'd just be the end of it. Like what the hell? Like if everyone were to just stop trying to fix things and just sit with it and just be with themselves and just exist and just do their own thing, mate, nah, f*** off with that shit, buddy. Get out, come on. Get your jacket and f*** off, innit? It's like, that'd be like a, yeah, that's the sky would fall. So guys, do as everyone else says, all right? Be a good boy. Like, desire, get by, and you know, do all the things everyone else does, because if everyone else does it and wants it and desires for it, you want it, all right? Follow the rules, you know, don't be yourself, all right? You think you're fucking special? Think you're, what, unique because you're an individual? No, you're a duplicate of the mass, whatever. You're just like everyone else, you know? I don't know. It's 1%, so I'm gonna keep going until the camera literally dies. Oh wait, maybe that's bad. Right, I just restarted the recording. Oh, for fuck's sake.